Hey friends, Jill Case here for your astrological update for the week. This is all you need to know to leverage the energy that's occurring so that you can have your best week ever. I'm going to start this week by telling you a little bit about Virgo season because the sun just went into Virgo last week at the end of the week. And so we have a little bit of change in guard, if you want to think about it this way, because the sun, so much of it we feel that so much more deeply. But oftentimes when the sun does move into another sign, you feel that, and that collective kind of energy for the next month will carry the themes that we'll have. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then I'll get into the specific energy of the week and some tools that will help you really integrate that energy. So the sun is moving from fire sign to an earth sign, and earth signs, and this is going to take us into the fall season, are more about the body because they're earth. They're more about the material things. So we kind of get from this expansive solar energy to the more routines, right? The things that we have to do, the practice, we have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to move our body, those types of things. And also manifestation. If we think about like what all this energy does, is that in some ways it manifests. So we can manifest things like new jobs and the things that we want, but we can also manifest things like extra weight when we're not choosing foods and exercise and things that nourish us. So it's really the whole spectrum of manifestation, the things that we think about and dream about, and also just the results of what we're doing, really. So it's an earth sign. One thing to know, so it's going to bring you back to the practical, the things you can see, touch, feel. It's a mutable sign, and mutable signs want us to shift energy and change. And so we've been feeling a lot of that change energy, I think, already with all that's happening, because we have a lot of other mutable energy happening. So we want to change. It's a mutable energy. And I want to kind of bring forth this idea of digestion, because Virgo does deal with digestion. But I think this is a really bigger theme than just the physical digestion, because let's think about what digestion is. It's taking something in one form, like a solid form of food, and we digest it, we break it down, we assimilate it in hopes to enrich ourselves, to give us energy, to give us vitality, to give us the vitamins and minerals. So I think this month is really all about that reflection and that integration about what and how are we digesting life. And so if you think about what we put in and what we get out, if we want to feel our best, if we want to have the best life, if we want to have the best experiences, then again, what we put in has to be equal or greater than what we're expecting to get out. So in the sense, if we eat junk food all day, we can't expect to feel our best, because what we're putting in, even if it's broken down perfectly and assimilated, it's still at its base nutrients isn't super satisfying. So I think this is one way to look at it, is this strictly physically. This is a good month to look at what you're putting in your body, how you're moving your body, how you're resting and taking care of your body. Check out my video on the body intelligence. It talks a lot about these kind of base routines that if we aren't really taking care of foundational things of which all things move up from, we really can't expect to have a whole lot more in our life or different. So we can't really change much if at our root we're already malnourished or we're already not operating at our best. So this is a great month to look at what you're putting in, your inputs. On a more soul level, this is also a month to think about, again, how we're digesting our experiences. Are we taking a time to reflect and take in what's happening and wondering, do we need to make shifts and choices? Because again, the people that we're allowing in, the ways we're choosing to spend our time, how we're making choices of what we say yes to and no to, are those serving us? And if you remember, we've been in Mercury retrograde since the beginning of August. And luckily, Mercury will go direct at the end of August, so this week. But we start Virgo season with a Mercury retrograde in Leo, which to me is a question to be asking yourself is, where am I not allowing myself to shine? And sometimes we don't allow ourselves to shine because we don't feed ourselves good things. Like we're not actually eating well or sleeping well or moving our bodies in ways that make us really feel our vitality. I know for me, I've really had a draw to go back and make sure I'm doing my Kundalini yoga every day, because I love those practices, because they truly do connect you to your vital force and your ability to channel your vital energy and to be able to intentionally put it where it needs to go. So it does work with those lower three chakras, which are all about our emotions, our solar energy, our will, and our grounded and rootedness. So Digestion is going to be big this week. And if we're starting the cycle with our Mercury retrograde, this means that there's a little bit of reflection needed, some course correction, some review, reflect that might be needed to ask yourself, like, if you're not feeling your most radiant self, what do you think's causing that? What decision? Where is there an energy that needs to come in that's more fortifying? And where might there need to be some cleaning house? Virgo really likes to sort, clean, and refine, which means that you might have to like take some things out. This is almost like, think of it as like cleaning out your closet or cleaning out that junk drawer that has just stuff in there that doesn't allow it to be as beautiful or radiant or clean or organized or efficient as you want it to be. So that's a little bit of how we'll start this cycle. Is that, again, it's focused on digestion. And the word that comes to me is for enrichment. Because truly, if we've really digested good things, we are enriched by them. We actually feel better for them. And this is really a month to be doing that in your life. Like, really, how can you live your best life? How can you make choices that do nothing but enrich your life? How do you spend time with people that do nothing but enrich you? How do you move your body in ways that enrich you? How do you spend your time on things that delight you and truly light up your life? This is the time to be making those assessments. And to me, how I know is that they make me feel, how each experience makes me feel. When I eat something, how does it make me feel? When I drink something, how does it make me feel? And really noticing what you can and can't do. And this does change over time. I've noticed that my body does not tolerate a lot of the things it did. The more and more I'm kind of cleaning up my life of the influences that I don't want. So that's a little bit about Virgo season and what we're kind of dealing with. I think that I want to add to that we need a whole lot of compassion when we start to do this, when we start to clean up our life and really ask these deep questions, because Virgo can be the perfectionist that there's just always something to clean up. So I think of this in the sense of like self-help. I know in my life that there has been times that I just get so into wanting to improve myself that I feel like it comes from a place of I'm not good enough. And so this is really a time to maybe do this mudra, the lotus mudra, and to allow yourself to truly find love and compassion for where you are and the choices that got you there, because this is how we learn. And there's a little bit of this creative tension going on of, to change, we have to know that there's really nothing that needs to be perfected. Like, we are perfect, and these experiences are things that we wanted to draw in so that we can have new experiences and we can see ourselves in all these different ways. And yet, really practically, we have to make different choices at times. And sometimes things that worked in one point don't work anymore. And the only way we know that is to experience them and to go, oh, that doesn't work. So bring a whole lot of compassion to yourself this month as you are doing the work of cleaning up, refining, and truly detoxing yourself from things that don't work for you, and allowing yourself to be enriched by the choices that you consciously make to allow in, because you are chooser. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears now to the energy of this specific week. So take into account all that I said about Virgo season as a whole. Now let's talk about this week. Here are some shifts that you'll be feeling. Mercury is going to go direct on the 28th. Now keep in mind, it still has to travel all the way till September 12th before it gets to where it was when it went retrograde. So we still have some time in which energy is starting to move. You might feel plans progress. You might feel more clarity and more direction. You're definitely take that. But remember, it's not about rushing into anything, but allowing that movement to stir some creativity, but give it some more time and space until Mercury is completely direct. That doesn't mean you don't make decisions or sign things or go forward. It just means that, like, I know for me, I get really excited when energy starts to move, and then I can easily jump back into old patterns. So just keep aware of what maybe you learned, and then just as you're making those decisions, take that consciousness in there. Venus is going to go into Libra on the 30th. So it's moving from Virgo into Libra. So it's going to be a little bit more fresh energy. Not that our Virgo isn't fresh, but we're getting an air. So we're getting bigger perspective in our relationships and money. Again, this could help us with anything we're trying to manifest, some new perspectives. So be open to having some good conversations with people. Again, some new ways to look at old situations. And then we have a new moon next Monday, so you'll be prepping for that. So the moon energy is waning, which means that, for me, like, sometimes this isn't a good time to start things necessarily, but it's a good time to let those creative stirrings be moving you. I talked a couple weeks ago about how true creativity really does move you. Like, you don't have to actually will your way forward with true creativity. So that's what I mean about the energy is going to be starting to move. We'll feel these creative kind of stirrings. Listen to them. Let them move you in new ways, right? So that again, you can digest the best things out of these experiences and we don't rush into action. So that's this week. And again, something that I think might help you prepare for the new moon is purification. This might be a good week to drink more water, to maybe take out some of the sugar and stimulants so that you can truly let your creative impulses move you and not be so much moved by habitual patterns or just the busyness of life. I know for me, sometimes I fast, and that can be a nice way to do that. Or I just take more time away from technology and external stimulus, especially if I'm wanting to listen to myself. I'll find that I can't really be watching and listening and reading too much because that will sometimes influence the messaging I get. So just do it, mindfully and carefully. And again, how does what you're listening to make you feel? I have a video on looking at being environmental, and it's actually checking out your environment. So you could check out that video too for ways in which you can kind of let the environment teach you and show you things that are coming to you and wisdom that would be there, and also to look at the impact of your environment on you. So good week this week to do some cleansing or maybe just some clearing out. Maybe you just don't say yes to as much on your schedule so that you have more time and space. I know for me, true creativity needs lots of space. So because we're getting geared for a new moon, give yourself more space. Take out any of those influences that aren't enriching you, and you kind of get a new blank slate in which to have those new perspectives, which I think will be super, super awesome, friends. So I hope this video has been helpful. Please like and subscribe, share this video, because this is truly my passion, is to share the tools that allow us to live our genius life, which is living with more joy, more ease, more fulfillment right now. Blessings, friends.